Hello and welcome to Live Coding Happy Hour. This is the ServiceNow Developer Show that brings you an unscripted demo. We are going to roll up our sleeves. Check. We're going to we are going to take our knowledge of what we know on said subject and do our best to achieve a goal. And you get to come along for the journey, make comments, you hear the thought process, you see us skin our knees and bump our foreheads a couple of times if that's what it takes. But we're going to do our best. Let's start out with some introductions, beginning with that man.
Hi, everyone. My name is Earl. I am a senior developer advocate here at ServiceNow. Prior to that, I was in the higher ed space doing development for several customers at the University of California. One thing that we forget to mention also is, I guess you might talk about this later, but we're in the middle of our Washington DC content. So if you are interested in seeing what other things we're going to be covering for this season of Washington, D.C., make sure to go to devlink.sn/Washington, D.C. To find out everything that is there that we're doing. Live streams, podcasts, blogs, and everything. But yeah, that's who I am. I'm Earl. And then I'll pass it to Victor.
Yes. Thank you, Earl. Thank you, Chuck. And I'm a outbound product manager for the topic we're going to cover today. I have a Utah t-shirt. The Washington one is not in the mail yet, but I'm sure, once that comes in, I'll probably be wearing that one more often as well.
Wow. Martin called it out so fast.
Yeah. He called it before he even started talking about it.
Same country, just different area.
Slightly different area. Easier climb to the White House or the Capitol building than it is up to. Anyway, another time. My name is Chuck Tomasi. I am also a ServiceNow senior developer advocate, and I've been with the company since 2010. I was a customer for a few years before that, and a long, long history back into the early 1980s in tech and computers, which we will share another time. Let's go around and do our drinks because this is Live Coding Happy Hour. And the tradition was started back in 2015, 2016, whatever it was, where we get together and share a beverage while we do our work. So what is your beverage of choice, Earl?
So in spirit of the St. Patrick's Day this Sunday, I have a Guinness, a drop.
Timely choice.
And then,
Victor?
Yeah, for me on the West Coast, not quite a drinking hour yet, although it is coming. But so for now, I do have a LaCroix Black Raspberry, spelled R-A-Z-Z. So cheers.
And I've got something that's kind of green, so I get to a lame excuse. I've got a margarita. That's my drink of choice this afternoon. So with the beverages out of the way, we're ready to embark on our journey. And Earl is here to drive. Victor is here for moral support, and I'm just the color commentary. So, Earl, what are we doing today?
Sure. It's funny because when we do generative AI stuff on Live Coding Happy Hour, these streams actually do fairly well, and a lot of people tune in and watch it. I think we hit search engine optimization pretty well. We're one of the ones that are making the content and having a lot of fun with it. And so I want to try to keep that spirit in. So I'm going to show off some of the stuff that's in Washington, DC specifically, with that pertains to generative AI. And then I thought we were going to tackle an idea I had and just have fun with Gen AI and start making some silly stuff like we usually do on this episode, just to show how fun it is to incorporate Gen AI into our ServiceNow instances and kind of like unlocking that kind of potential. And that's one of the things that our team, Chuck, myself, Lauren, and Pranav, we're going to be constantly doing over the next several months and stuff like that, is showing just like, hey, it's fun to put these tools inside of our instances, and just showing you off that stuff to you is one of the things that we want to be doing. But yeah, so if you two can keep an eye on the active chat and let me know if I need to pause or answer a question or anything. And if you're in the chat and you do have a question, just let us know, and we'll.
Mark is letting us know that it was July 22nd, 2016 for the first live. I should know I was there. But that one's lost. COVID messed with my brain on time.
My first live coding happy hour that I appeared on it was sometime in like 2018 or 19, I think. It was pretty early, actually. Yeah, I didn't know it went that far back, actually. Okay, so I'm in a fairly fresh instance. What I'm going to try to do right now is try to show off the virtual agent designer generative AI stuff. So they added the ability to do input generative AI inside of VA Designer. So I'm going to try to tackle that. I haven't touched VA Designer since I think the 2021 hackathon. So it's been a minute. And so in the spirit of live coding happy hour, it's going to be an interesting dive in, because we're really going to be trying to struggle through this if I hit my head against a wall a few times.
Changed in the designer between Quebec release, I suppose, and now?
When I clicked into VA Designer, I was like, it was the Gandalf meme when I was like, I have no recollect. I don't have any memory of this place. So it's a little rough. But yes, okay. So before we jump into this instance, and you all always know if it's my instance because you see this little dancing ServiceNow logo. But the two things that I have already done is I've turned on plugins and I've already turned on the Now Assist panel, and I'll show you where the panel is. But just FYI, I've already turned on Now Assist for ITSM and the virtual agent plugin. So those two things are installed, but pretty much else than that, it's a fairly fresh instance because I've had to Z-boot so many of my instances recently, so everything's really fresh. Yeah, so a good experience. So when I was talking about Now Assist panel, for your Now Assist stuff for the generative AI things to show up in a lot of places, particularly what I'm going to be showing off today too, is you need to make sure the panel is turned on. And now that I've already turned on the panel, so it doesn't appear here, but if this is the first time you're jumping into a Now Assist capability, you'll see a little box over here saying you need to turn on the panel. And that makes it show up across the platform for a bunch of different things. Like you'll see this little twinkle for Now Assist up here. That wasn't there until I pressed wait, was it there? I can't remember, but I had to turn the panel on. So that was one of the steps. If you're going through VA, what is it called, Victor? The guide? Is it virtual agent?
Yeah, the virtual agent console. Or
yeah,
the guide.
Okay. If you're wanting to go through the virtual agent console to do your chatbots, then you need to make sure you turn on your skills for that. So to show up where that is real quick, I'm in the Now Assist console. You can go to features. Under platform, you'll see virtual agent. And going into there, you'll see that there's 3 available skills. I've already I turned these on already. So they would appear up here to say you could turn these on, and then it has descriptions for each of them. But I've already turned those on, and I haven't deactivated them. So those are there. If you're going through straight up through Virtual Agent Designer, like I'm about to do, this step you can skip the turning on the skills, because Now Assist panel turns it on for VA Designer straightforward. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Virtual Agent Designer.
And real quick, while that loads, Earl, you mentioned you had to turn on the panel to access the designer. That's something that was probably there left in code for Washington early availability, you will not need to turn on the panel in the future in order to use VA. It is actually kind of two separate things there, so that's why.
Sure. VA is completely separate. To be able to see this part, to change it over to the analysis for LLM assistant part, that's what you need the panel for, I think.
Right, in early availability, but not GA.
Oh, okay. So you can even skip that step. Thanks. This is why we love when PMs sit on our live streams, because they can correct our fiddling around. So if you didn't know already, virtual agent, if you're one of the main things that you can use for topic creation and stuff like that is natural language, so NLUs. But with analysis, you can change it over to LLM, and it's a lot faster. I mean, everything that I did so far this time around was faster. Like turning on all the plugins was so much faster, and I think that we did that in Utah or Vancouver. But just everything seems so much faster. But yeah, so okay, I gotta stop talking, and I'm just gonna start making stuff. Okay, so I'm creating a new topic. What was the last? Who was the last thing? This is the Laszlo topic. Laszlo was the last person I saw in the chat, so I'm going to put that. What do you want this topic to do? Okay, so
Earl, make that bigger.
Oh yeah. Everyone drink, because someone had to remind me to.
Is that part of the game?
It's not live coding happy hour unless someone forgets to zoom in. Okay. So at this part, what do you want the topic to do? And this is actually building the LLM, the access to the now LLM part of it. So we need to actually, tell us what it wants it to do. What could we be gathering information for? What's a example? This will. What was the example here?
Laszlo says it shots every time you hear his name.
Laszlo. No. Help users see other PTO. Yeah, okay, so help users determine what drink they should have for live coding happy hour. For a technical live stream. I don't know exactly the content that would be.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. This is basically to help with topic discovery, as we call it, right? Like how do users get to this topic just by typing in their query, right? So in NLU, we used to use utterances and intents and entities. No longer. Now all you have to do is just describe what this topic does, and this is a great description you have here. If I were to enhance it, be like, oh, what drink such as soda or beer they should have for a technical live stream. Yeah, exactly. The more objects and stuff that you can put in there, the more the large language model will be able to intuit and understand, what this topic is for.
Wow. No more utterances and intents?
Nope. Nor entities.
Yeah, and if you're used to Gen AI, it's often you hear sentiment analysis and stuff like that. When it's figuring out if this is the topic that matches the query or whatever the person's typing in the virtual agent, you'll see in the it's sure of this being the topic, or it's like a confidence level. So it's similar to a sentiment analysis, but it's taking their chat and saying, based off of the LLM and this description, that this is probably the one they're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and create. This is like the most context for every step along the way for anything in live coding happy hour that we've ever had. Okay, so I'm in VA Designer. So this is the view that we're all used to. And then you'll see these little twinkle stars that appear on all these things. That means that this is LLM enabled. What that means is if you start collecting info from the person, and I'm just going to add one of each of these, and I'll go back and name them in a second. We'll do Boolean and a date time. What it looks like, it's basically, before you would have to say like, oh, what question do you want to ask? And you would type out the question, and you have to word it and figure out how you want to engage with the user, how friendly or whatever, all that kind of stuff. But now you just have to say what the thing you're gathering from them, and then the LLM will generate all the text to engage the user on how to collect that information. So let's just start building it, and that will make sense when we start testing it in a second. So the input collector is, I'll just call it input. No, what's the next? Who's the last person that talked again? Mark, fuck off. He's in the chat. And what is the reason the LLM is collecting inputs from the user? I always like to look at the example. To get the user a temporary building access badge. To get enough information to recommend a drink to the user. All right, so that's what the instruction is for the LLM for gathering all this information. And then if I go back through all the different inputs that I put, my mind just completely blanked out. I'm so sleepy. I'm catching up. My toddler, I had to wake up several times throughout the night to help her. So I'm dazed and confused right now. I'm not just drinking beer, but I'm also drinking coffee at the same time to balance it out.
So it's an Irish coffee, essentially.
Yeah, essentially.
The universe is going to implode in your head.
What would be a text input for gathering information?
What is the topic today?
Drinks, right? No. Oh no, but like we're
looking for it to recommend a drink, aren't we?
Yeah. So what would we ask? What's a text thing that we would ask somebody like? What do you usually look for in drinks?
Okay. You're going to feed the input of that to the LLM.
Yeah, drink preference. Tell us the detail. I need their shirt choice. I need to know what they usually prefer in their drink choices. So see, we're not typing out the question. We're typing out what we need. And then we're going to let the LLM, the generative AI, to determine what that is. Choices. Drink types. I need to know if they have a specific drink type of preference. So we'll do like beer, wine, non-alcoholic, soda, and we'll throw in other. What Boolean? What's a good Boolean?
Good Boolean. That's where you could have gone alcoholic or not, but
not true.
Are you over 18?
Do you mean 21?
21? Sorry, I'm an old man. It used to be 18 when I
Sure.
was
Sure.
Are you over the age of 21? And if not, we can ask you, what sodas, what types of milk would you like to drink?
Chocolate milk.
Date and time input. Oh, what would this one be for?
What day are you available to drink, or what? Or
what day is the show? I don't know.
Yeah.
I wonder what it'll do with that. What do you need to know when the episode of Live Coding Happy Hour is?
Well, just so to clarify, this is for generating the text that will go into the input collection. This doesn't actually generate the answer. That would be another step, but we're just focusing on this one for right now, the input collection. I'm just going to add a random last step of confirm message here. Okay, thanks. We'll let you know. Whatever. Okay, so from here, I'm going to test it. I've not gone this far in testing, so we'll see if it works. Okay, so what were some... I said live coding happy hour, so let me try to just...
Uh-oh.
Okay, this is live coding. This is good. This is fine.
Here, click restart. Say like I need a drink recommendation. I need a drink choice for my live coding happy hour, something like that.
Okay, still not working. So this is... I was wondering what will happen here because I'm used to the NLU tab for this part.
Yeah,
But
so that will show things when it catches it. If you go to prompt discovery, just trying to remember what it goes. So it's got that, and it actually, if you expand that window vertically a bit, yeah, it actually picks up the topic. You see, it says Laszlo topic. So it picks up the topic. I don't know why it doesn't run the topic itself.
For Laszlo topic, I need a drink for technical live stream. Okay, so it's not working. So I've been told there's another way to try to force it, and so I'm going to try to do it here, and I'll back out if it doesn't work. But let me try to show me. Okay, it's not there either. Okay, so this is where I was told that like if I want to just test the input thing for this stream, I should back out and try it here because I know it works. So I'm going to go back to VA Designer on the selection page. Oh, hold on. Let me save that. I didn't publish it. Let me publish it. Maybe see. Well, do you think it doesn't have to be published to test it, right?
Right. I was going to say that would be counterintuitive.
I'll just try real quick.
HR
says the topic is inactive. Was it?
Before you published it, it was inactive, but when you test it, it shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't matter, yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna do it from this view. So I went back to VA Designer, the selector, and I said we're doing this through Now Assist. I'm going to say test active topics, which will open the same window. And I think the error still happens here, and I need to figure out what's going on there. I've done nothing to configure virtual agent in this instance, so I'm not sure if that's one of the reasons why. But I know if I go to show me everything here's Laszlo topic. And because I'm not really testing for the utterance part of it, I wanted to see what it would generate.
Right.
Here it is. So, okay. So, remember, I didn't type what it should say for the question, but it's asking me, hey, what do you usually prefer in your drink choices? And I will say, I'm not much of a hops guy. Sorry.
You're giving it a challenge.
Got it. Based on your previous response, you mentioned that you're not much of a hops guy. Now I have a question about drink types for you. Do you have a specific drink type of preference? You can choose from beer, wine, non-alcoholic soda, or other. So you see, it's kind of like it's trying to make it conversational, and it's making it so that it incorporates previous choices. It's trying to just be a little bit more friendly. And this is not, and I didn't do anything to tell it to do that. All I just said was what I need. So it's creating that text from that. So that's kind of what this feature is in Washington, DC for.
Before you do anything, don't click anything. Type in Chardonnay.
Oh. Is that how you spell Chardonnay?
Yeah, I think that is.
Oh, okay. So does it show me the where's the...
It should in variable drink types. It doesn't update the thing. I was hoping that like because it's large language model powered, much like obviously for Boolean, like you don't have to type true or anything. You can just type yes, yeah, whatever, and people will generally know that's true. Like I was hoping that the LLM would go through the synonym and know Chardonnay to be wine, but I guess in this case you need to be more exact. But anyway, that was just a test. I didn't know what was going to happen.
That's good. Got it. I see that you can legally drink alcohol. By what would you like to? By when would you like to have this drink? We have another LCHH for next week, so we'll put 22. Oh, okay. Now it updates.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. Thanks. We'll let you know. Age is true.
I like that. Type java.lang.string.
So it inputted a new type, even though that didn't exist in the choice list.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, it should have just maybe errored out, but I don't know.
Or I would, or intuitively know to put it as other, or put it as under wine. I mean, other on
maybe, but yeah,
that was the drink type, but it wasn't your recommendation. Wasn't it supposed to come back with a recommendation?
No. This is just for input collection.
Oh, gotcha. We're
generating the response is completely different from this, and
True.
I just wanted to show off what's new in Washington DC. Okay, so I'm kind of interested to see what you were talking about for when it was asking for the Boolean. I'm just going to say yep and see if it puts it as true. I prefer drinking on the show floor at Knowledge in The Hague, which is a true story, and I got in trouble for.
Who was busting you in Amsterdam for drinking on the show floor?
It's because the venue was providing the drinks, so us drinking our own drinks was not. Anyways, let me just type in whatever, and then let's get to that Boolean.
Lesla says pinky swear.
Yep, I pinky swear. Got it. Here's another question. All right, well, let's see if it properly classifies it as true. Wait, it said what? It says false, actually.
Oh, false? Oh,
yeah.
Weird.
Interesting.
No more pinky swearing to an LLM.
Okay, let's try not to fool it. I'm just going to put
reasonable answers.
Yeah, I'll just say
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes or yeah. I've done that and it worked. Yeah.
Affirmative.
Oh, I thought I broke it for a hot second.
What?
Oh, it really, I did break it. As long as it's not poison, I'm game. Okay, now I'm going to say yeah, and hopefully that sets it to true. Yeah.
Age is false.
Gen AI peeps, you got some splaining to do. Oh, well.
Huh.
I guess that's another time. Another time we'll talk about that, but at least the actual generating of the prompt is accurate.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna back out of that. That's the Washington DC thing I wanted to show off. For the rest of this episode, I want to shift gears. So shift gears. I wanted to build something on this app instead of just demonstrating a feature. So I want to make an app, and let me jump into it. I already created the scope for it. It's a completely empty scope, which means it's empty. So I need to make the table. Okay. Let me just. Oh, the product teams are going to get mad at me for jumping into the old studio, but I'm going to do it.
The audience won't complain.
I'm so used to it. Okay, okay. So my idea was, we have all these live streams, and I want to create summaries or blogs based off of the live stream, but I don't want to rewatch the whole thing. And so I had the idea of, and also I used to, when I wanted to do this, I would grab the transcript after downloading the live stream video, putting it into Adobe Premiere, making that generate the transcript, and then I would go through that transcript and summarize it and stuff like that. But one thing I noticed was that YouTube, you know how it has those auto-generated captions they appear after some time after the stream ends. You can just download those, and so I was like, oh, let's just take those captions and then throw it through Gen AI to make it create a summary. So we're going to try to do that. So LCH, did I already make it? No, I didn't make it. LCHH summaries. Great. Wait, am I creating a new? No. Hold on. I already created the scope. I need to create the table for it. My bad. Okay. I have to zoom out to see the button.
Permission granted.
Yeah, this non-next experience UI is giving me flashbacks, I suppose. This, this
PTSD.
all these lists and forms.
A place for everything and everything in its place.
So one real quick, the reason why I'm putting this at full UTF-8 is because the transcripts are huge. So I want to make sure it can fit inside of these fields. But for the blog itself, it shouldn't be that long. So I'll just put 4,000.
Pretty much anything over 4,000 won't get truncated.
Yeah.
I mean, if you leave it, I think it's 1,000 or 4,000 is where it stops truncating.
I think it's 4,000. I think you can up it to 10,000 in properties. I think that's what it is.
Interesting.
Okay, so I have the table. And then, so what the goal will be is, hold on, let me go back into the regular view so people don't get mad at me. Okay, so I have this field. I'm going to put the input in here, and I want it to generate the block up there. And I should have done some pre-configuration on this instance, but I didn't. So we're going to walk through setting up the Gen AI controller real quick. Give me 1 second. I got to go find the documentation for this. Oh, that's the whole screen. My bad.
Do you need my help? I can walk you through the setup for the.
No, I found it. It's fine. So I have the doc. It's this one I was looking for. Sorry. Okay. So there's a table. And if you go, this is in the documentation. So you'll find this table under setting up a provider for generative AI. And in there, I'm going to use generic prompting, which is in Flow Designer. And under config, I get to pick what model I want to use. And I have a key for Live Coding Happy Hour that I'll use for this one. So I'm going to turn on ChatGPT-4 for this.
Got to change the scope first.
Oh, I usually jump into the record and then just press edit.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I go up to here, click default, update it, and there you go. Okay, so now that it knows to use that one when I use generic prompting inside the platform. And then now I have to create a credential for
with the shrubbery.
That's a thing. I'm just going to take off my screen real quick.
All right.
And the capability you turned on, was that for OpenAI or Azure OpenAI? I didn't catch that.
I'm pretty sure I'll recheck.
Okay.
Okay, so I got my key and I pressed this related link, create new credential, and then I inputted my API key.
Nice.
Okay, cool, it did it. And so let me backtrack back to one extend.
Oh, failed to create a new connection. Oh,
Seems like one already exists.
Did I already do it?
maybe.
Oh man, I'm like completely lost with what I've already worked on.
Well, hey, if it's there, then it's there, and then hopefully
It's there.
All right.
We'll see if it works in a second. One extend. Okay, let me make sure I turn on the right one. Yeah, OpenAI.
Cool. Yeah, looks good.
All right, so that's it. That's all I had to do to set up that part. So I'm going to jump into Flow Designer and attempt to make this flow. Oh, one thing I am worried about is it failing because the transcript might be too big for the API. That's one thing. We'll see if it works.
That's
what this show is about.
Yeah, if not, then I have an idea of how to strip some of that.
And you log a defect to Sam Altman to increase the token count for inputs.
And it's already using a higher one. So the API itself gets a higher token count, and then ChatGPT 4 has a higher token count. So hopefully it's not a problem.
Yeah.
I probably should have hit subflow. Whatever. It's live going out. Who's the last person in chat?
Andreas.
Andreas. I hope people know that if they're watching this show, it's not all about best practices always. It's about having fun, getting things done, showing us actually working through some of the errors that we run into. Oh, edit flow. That's different. When did that
showed up in Washington?
Oh, Washington. Okay, cool. No accidentally deleting steps while you're looking at something? That's nice.
You're not. I see you haven't. Have you gotten a chance to test out flow recommendations or flow generator? I
haven't tested it yet. Is this where it would show up?
That's a Washington feature as well. You basically, in natural language, type out what kind of flow you want. Generate an email when something happens, and it'll build out the skeleton of the flow, and then you just kind of fill in like all the other details. So that's a Now Assist product coming out soon too.
And I just noticed that I got automatically loaded into Workflow Studio. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, the module that goes to Flow Designer now goes to Workflow Studio. It redirects.
Okay, so I picked the generative AI prompt for a generic prompt, and I'm going to give it the input field from my table. Oh, but first I want to say generate a blog from this transcript of a ServiceNow live stream, technical live stream. So this is where we would want to make it a little verbose. So if we have time, I'll flesh this out to actually give it like some of my old blogs that I've written and say stuff like, make it feel like this blog. And it'll try to model it off of that. So if we have time, I'll keep adding more features to it. But I mean, that's really it. And then updating the record.
You just made me think of someplace I want to use this.
Yeah? You want to talk about it while I type some stuff?
Social media posts. So when we do a podcast or something, we can throw in a transcript and have it generate the social media post. Because where you post matters on the length, the content, the hashtags, the @ mentions, all that stuff. So, we could automate that quite a bit.
Just a shout out to our colleague or our teammate, Pranav, who just created a short talking about that it auto saves on Flow Designer now. I was up here like, where's the save button? And if you make a plug, please like and subscribe to the channel in this video. It helps a lot, I guess. But if you are subscribed to the channel, you might have seen Pranav's YouTube short on this. But he showed off that it auto saves in Flow Designer now. I'm sitting here like, how do I save? Okay, it's already there. I'm just gonna test it live because it's live coding happy hour.
We'll do it live.
Yep. Summaries. Okay, so I'm oh, and to show you what I mean by the transcript, I have our YouTube studio for our channel, and I go to content. Let me zoom. Go to
Boy, you think I
content.
took that picture just a few minutes ago?
Yeah, right.
Jazz hands.
And then you just go to one of your shows. So I think it'll be funny if let's try to do the last episode we did for generative AI,
Okay.
which is this one. Is it this one? Yeah. I think Victor, you were on this one too.
Yeah, August, the good old days.
And
That's
so
like,
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No.
Yeah. So once you get into the video, go to subtitles, and it's under here. So you can download that transcript.
Oh my goodness.
And it puts it in an SRT file. So let me Shrubbery real quick and download it and open it up.
So what is an SRT?
It is, I don't know what SRT stands for, but it's captions with timing. It has like timing.
Oh, okay. So it is text.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here I just loaded it. Let me show you.
As I like, at 2 seconds, this is the tech. There it goes.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen that before. Pretty standard looking stuff.
Yeah, so it's telling YouTube exactly when to show that thing on the screen. Or it's a standardized file. Multiple platforms know SRT.
Yep.
And so at 1 minute and 1 second, say hi everyone, welcome on the screen. So that's what it is. So I'm going to take this transcript. This thing is huge. That's 100.
Thank you, music. Thank you, music.
It's 100,000 characters. That's gonna break the API.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Let's find out. So I inputted it, and
flow should be running.
Why did it say this field was updated? I just did it. All right. Well, let's check the flow. So executions, error.
Dang it, Sam Altman.
If you're watching this, no, I'm just kidding. Okay, so let's just, I'm gonna redo it with a much shorter one and see if that works. Okay, how do I refresh this page?
The refresh icon on the left of that panel, right?
There, thanks. Okay, so this one completed. I think it's the tokens. Okay, there, it just summarized it.
Ooh.
It's fast.
That was fast, yeah. Well, I mean, it was only 37 lines worth of text.
I was gonna say it created pretty verbose.
It got the title right. Okay, so I have given this a little bit of thought. So this is what I would do right now, and I think we have time to try to do it. So I'm going to try to remove all the superfluous information from here to try to limit down the token count. And so how I would do that is regex. So oh, this is gonna be rough. Let me go. See, I did give this thought. I have regex ready, so I'm gonna put my example in here. Okay, so there could be a new line.
A number.
Well, it could be one or more. It could be 0 or more lines, and then a number, which is a digit, and that could be several of those. And then specifically and another new line. And that could be multiple of the. Well, no, that could be multiple of those. Go watch our regex videos on this channel if you have no idea what's happening. I'm sorry.
Just use ChatGPT to tell you how to create a regex to strip out XYZ.
That's true.
That's an interesting use case I haven't thought of yet.
But I'm trying to flex my regex skills. Y'all.
Okay. Yeah.
This is where the old adage comes that I used to have a problem So I thought I'd use Regex to solve it. Now I have two problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am hopeless when it comes to regex.
I rely on sites like this heavily. And then you go paste it and it goes, I'm sorry, said on the Mac doesn't understand that expression. Like, wait, I thought regex was universal.
Okay, there we go. I think I'm getting it now. There we go. Perfect. Okay, see, everything is selected besides the actual text. That's
Okay.
that's me flexing my regex. All right.
Back
So
to VS
I'm
Code.
gonna do this in a business rule, and I'm gonna say whenever there's a new record, advanced. Who's last in the chat?
Andreas again.
Who before that? Edgar.
Edgar.
Why can't I edit? What is happening? Oh, it's still loading UI. Again, this is a freshly Z-booted instance, so a lot of things aren't cached. So when you first load business rule, after a new cache, business rule is one of the slowest loading things. Okay. Edgar, yo, what's up? Okay. Before is it advanced? Yeah. Before insert.
Where's the advanced tab?
Yeah, where's the tab?
Uncheck it and check it again.
Oh my goodness. Okay. What's
you,
happening?
You jumped the gun on that one. It really wasn't ready.
Current dot input equals current dot input dot replace to string dot replace my regex global.
While Earl flexes his regex and scripting, I would have just installed Now Assist for create and code assist, and in natural language tell me to do all this fancy stuff that Earl's doing right now, because I can't do any of this off the top of my head.
We wrote one line of code on Live Coding Happy Hour today.
Yeah. Okay.
At least it's like an impressive line of code, right?
It is an impressive line of code. Thank you.
Unless it doesn't work, then it's not impressive. Where's that record? Oh man, where'd it go?
You see, you'd be able to blame it on hallucination if it didn't work with code assist, but now it's all you, Earl.
If you've watched this show before, blaming it on me is not entirely inaccurate. So I'm going to test it with a shorter thing real quick. It didn't work.
Pick the executions.
No, it's supposed to strip the stuff.
That's the
blog part worked.
It did it before insert? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, let me go to business rules real quick and look at that.
Is that a minus or an equal?
Where?
Current dot input dash. Is that what you meant to do?
Dash.
Yeah, current dot input is your monitor.
Looks like an equal to me.
It's an equals.
Okay, my monitor. Oh, there you go. Zoom, Earl, zoom.
Oh, let me... yeah.
We got a few minutes if you want to debug that.
I'm gonna take a hammer approach. I'm gonna guess it's not meant to be new line. It's supposed to be
white space of some type.
White space. So
that could be.
God, please work. Oh, no, it's too zoomed in. Okay, so let me delete that and insert in state to re-trigger it. There it goes.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Hey!
I don't know what the extra one is there for.
Let's see what it does to the summarizer.
What's the extra? Oh, you know what the extra one is from? It's this, because it goes into double digits. I didn't factor that in.
You needed a plus.
I really want to get this to work. Give me a second. Okay, so I need it to be
\D plus, right?
But a star an asterisk is 0 or more.
Where do you have the asterisk?
Right here.
No, that's your white space.
Oh, okay.
You want it after \D.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay. Thank you, Chuck, for seeing that one. Oh, okay, so that worked. Okay, so now let's test it for truly. Go back to my summaries table. I'm going to take the whole stream, which is 100,000 characters long. I'm going to input it here. And I know it ends in music always, so save. It stripped it out into one long transcript.
Wow. Okay.
There we go.
I hope it still has enough white spaces to make a sentence.
And now we wait to see if it worked.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, I should check the execution if it failed.
Feel free to take a drink.
Oh, yeah.
Refresh. That's an old one. Who's the latest one? 1418. Error.
Oh, it didn't work.
1420 error.
I don't have verbose logging on right now, so I would need to change it. Is it just too long still? You know what? Let's try with a shorter stream.
Isn't that the point of summarizing?
Unless I ran out of API space, like funding on it.
You have used your.
How much money do you have in your OpenAI account? You know,
I only put the minimum amount at any given moment.
Have it write the blog post as we're talking right now.
Let's just do, what would be a shorter stream? This creator toolbox is shorter. Let's try this one.
to answer Edgar's question, he did use GPT-4. So I would also have thought that GPT-4's context window would be able to handle 100,000 characters.
Well, okay, so token counter. Let's try. 10,000. Oh, see, it's just above the limit.
Oh, well, cut off the last couple lines.
Okay, yeah, we'll just do that because I think it should work.
Yep.
Let's just be sure a little bit more and insert and stay.
You do an insert and stay.
And while that's happening, I did insert and stay. Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
while that's happening, let me go grab the other stream. Let me grab this file. Oh, this one doesn't have captions. That failed too.
Oh!
All right, let's dramatically reduce it now.
Hack it in half. In this episode, they lost connection halfway through.
In progress.
Whoop, whoop. Earl can't wait.
It's like faster, dang
That's
it.
not screen flicker, people. Earl is just saying refresh a lot.
It worked.
Take a drink. Celebrate the little things.
There you go.
Let's actually read it. Okay, in this live stream, we talked Gen AI. Can connect to third parties. We talked about OpenAI and Azure OpenAI.
Yeah. Looks good.
Yeah,
looks good.
It almost reads like the transcript, though, because they've got first you need to do this. Once that's set up.
I mean, but that's kind of how that stream was, though. Remember from back, we talked about how to set up the controller and everything.
Yeah. Okay. And you didn't ask for like a 4-line summary. Your prompt just said make a blog post out of this.
That was another idea, though. Because one of the things I'm not great at is going back and putting a good summary on the YouTube description. So I'll probably keep this app here, and then in a couple of days when it generates the transcripts now, I'll run it through it, and then I'll say create a YouTube summary for the description for this according to this transcript, and I'll put it inside of this YouTube video. So if you're watching this like 1 week later after this airs, then hopefully you can look down at the description and it's actually accurate to what we talked about. And if you want to influence the transcript right now, Chuck or Victor, go ahead and just say the most random of things.
Wild boar appears.
A wild boar appears, just to ruin the transcript. I don't know. I would call that a success.
Chuck
Right?
Chuck is doing some prompt injection as we speak with the transcript.
Purple monkey dishwasher.
Yeah. You know, if we have time, I can share, speaking of virtual designer, going back to the first topic, I can share kind of what I did for my instance. So if I were to share screen real quick here.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Let's see this one. So this was my way less fun virtual agent topic, which is about troubleshooting collaboration apps, right? Like, let's say my topic is a troubleshoot or fix issues for a collaboration app such as Teams, Slack, or Zoom. Issues may be video, audio, whatever.
Hey, Victor,
then,
can you zoom in, buddy?
Yeah, sure. Oh, let me zoom in here first.
There we go.
There's the description. Yeah, right. And then here, let me zoom in again. Let me zoom out.
That's interesting.
But zoom out.
That one you got to do that way.
Yeah, I got to do the other way.
Yep.
And I can zoom in more. And here, I basically, same thing you did, Earl. I just created app input collector, and I just asked them, hey, what apps do you want? Describe the issue. And my description was way wordier than yours.
It's probably better though.
The LLM is going to just kind of sand that out, and then whether or not it's a high priority. That was my Boolean example, right? And when I test this, hopefully you see the pop-up. If you don't, I can reshare the screen.
You might need to. I think we only see your.
Let me. Oh, it says share this tab instead. I don't want to do it instead. Let me switch my screen share to window or desktop. Sorry.
Okay, cool. Let me
loading. So I click test again. And remember when I said no more utterances, inputs, or entities? Remember when you had to create an entity for each kind of app, right? Or each kind of catalog item? I don't even have to do that, and it'll still know what I'm talking about. So if I say,
we can't see
it. Sorry?
It's not on our screen.
We're
still looking at the canvas.
Why is presenting the? Oh, you know what? Sorry. Present screen, window, screen, not window. My bad. That's my bad. Let's try that one more time. Some Zoom versus StreamYard terminology here.
We're seeing more and more of your computer screen every time you share.
That's completely fine.
There we go. We see it now.
Yay!
Yeah, great.
Okay, so you hit test, and
yeah,
then...
so I can say I have a video issue with Slack, right? And then like what you showed, Earl, it knows that it can find the topic relatively quickly, but it'll show more analysis pretty soon coming up. So
okay,
yeah,
so that's what I was been trying to get to work on my instance. I couldn't get this tab to work, but you got it to work. Okay.
Yeah, so it says this is the topic I'm wanting, and it could already matched the confidence score that you're talking about, and some of the variables that I mentioned in my input collector. It kind of found out here, right? Nice. And it already knows. Okay, I got a video issue. Don't need to answer that question. Skip it. It knows I have Slack. Don't need to ask me that. Skip it. Is it a high priority issue or not? And I can say, yeah, it is.
That's awesome. So it filled in the variables knowingly. Oh, okay.
You don't have to bind or fill in entities anymore like you used to with NLU. It just LLM just knows okay, Slack means Slack, video means screen share or video, right?
That's awesome.
And then what I've done here is, let me see if I can resize and zoom out a little bit. With Boolean, you notice there it said, it is a high priority issue. Confirm that. I actually said, hey, decision tree, give me a decision. If it is high priority, if high priority was true, log me a ticket. If high priority was false, send it to some generic, chat GPT, and then let that answer collab issue for me, right? And we showed this in August, which was that other live coding video, like how to embed controller into Designer. That's basically what this is.
Mm-hmm.
Where I passed that describe issue variable here that it captured into the prompt, and the prompt then generates the result, which I spit out here. We asked GPT-4 and came up with this response, and then it just goes along this thing. It's either that or login issues. So, that's the way. The less fun, more work-oriented topic, but one that the one I use to show people about the possibilities of V8 with large language models.
That's dope. That's really cool. Now, if on that Boolean, if you said yes, this is a high priority, and here are details, would it have filled in the next question too?
So let me try that. Let's do it again. I'm restarting here. I think you have a better patch. Mine is like day 0 or a day 1 install. So my VA is a little slower than yours. I have a super high, I'm going to be extra dramatic, high priority issue on Slack. And I'm not going to mention video anymore. So it might ask me, hey, describe your issue.
And then you could be like, it's a video issue and here are some details.
Yeah, or let's see. I think I used free text here, so I can just type whatever I want. Let's see, high priority, it captured that as true. So most likely it will skip it. Sometimes it doesn't. A large language model, it's generative, so I'm not always going to 100% land on the same exact thing every time. But yeah, it knows that Slack. Describe the issue. I have a video screen share issue. And let's do this. Oh, I put it as yes. If I said no, or it's not a high priority issue, I would have just asked ChatGPT what it was. And then it'd probably go to, login incident. So yeah, that's the power of either it highlights which branch it's taking me towards. Oh, what did it do? It didn't do anything.
Okay, we'll demo that another time. I think we need to start rounding out the.
That's the gist of it. It worked in the previous try. So yeah, that's my example at least.
Nice.
I like our generative AI streams with Victor too, because he always ends with a working thing that shows what it's more capable of. So it's really good to have Victor on these things with us.
Like the cooking show. This is the way it was supposed to turn out.
Cut to finish dish.
Fast forward, and they pull out the already prepared one out of the oven.
Yeah.
So here it is.
Okay, thank you so much, Victor, for showing up. You definitely helped put some color on this. Earl, nice job getting through that. And thank you, everybody who joined us. Quick reminder, we do have more content, as Earl said. devlink.sn/Washington DC. I don't see the banner up there. Oh, we'll have to get a new one. But we do also have CreatorCon content coming out. So if you haven't already looked, get signed up. This is the developer event at Knowledge coming up in May. I believe, 52 days from now? Something ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
Coming up fast. Soon. Yeah.
It's not long. If you're in the Washington, D.C. area, I invite you to come out for the Washington, D.C. launch event. You can find registration information for that. Let one of us know. We'll be able to get you information for that. There's a developer meetup on the 18th, and then the event is on the 19th for the Washington launch. There should still be room for that. Don't know yet, but it's filling up fast. So if you're in that area, the Virginia, Maryland, D.C. area, we'd love to see you there. Lauren McManaman will be there. Mark Obie will be there. I'll be there. Sarah Gary's coming in. So a lot of the community people that you're familiar with will be on site to show off all the cool new stuff in Washington, D.C. So hope to see you there. Until next time. What did I forget, Earl?
Rating our beers if we want to.
Rating our drinks. Yes. How could I forget? It's been too long. Go ahead, Earl.
I really like Guinness. I'll give it a solid 4.
Oh, it's out of 5. Okay, yeah, I'll give this black razzmatazz a solid 4 out of as well. I may prefer tangerine more, personal preference, but this is pretty spot on.
I may have added just a wee bit too much tequila to my margarita, but I'm not complaining. I'm just making an observation. It was really good. I'm giving this a 4.75.
Nice. Oh, technically, when there's success, we add another 0.25. That's tradition on a show. So up
there
all
we
of our
go.
scores by 0.25. There you go.
We'll be singing
Thanks, everybody.
karaoke tonight.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a great
Stay safe.
rest of your
And
day.
thanks, Victor, again for joining us. Bye, everyone.
Bye.